Oh,
Okay. So hi, this is Betty George,
hi, I'm Carolina Gallegos,
and we're going to talk
and
about Unit 1.
there. So the Horizon Report review. Things that I noticed within the review was obviously that all these reports are useful for keeping you up to date with technology. As technology evolves, things change, and that's something that I liked about it. It had like the short-term trends, which obviously help depending on what you want to implement and how relevant those technologies are going to be in the future. Obviously, this is important because technology is everywhere now, so we really need to implement these things for student success.
So some things that I had noticed while kind of skimming through some of the reports is that I really liked how, I guess, reader-friendly they were, and especially as like an educator, because I know it's geared toward education, just how like it's quick reads, it's easy reads for, you know, a teacher, an educator, administrator to kind of read through it, and they're very, I guess, applicable to, and I liked how, you know, in each of the reports, they have like significant challenges, because I think that that's really important to address those challenges, because we all know that there's challenges that are out there that, you know, some people don't like to talk about or whatever, but if we talk about the challenges and then see how we can solve them, I think it really would help the teachers and those in education really move forward toward the digital age that, you know, we're kind of in. And I was kind of glancing toward, like even between the 2015 and 2017 report, the 2017 had like Makerspace, so a lot of things that are really up and coming and that really need to be involved in schools and in campuses and things like that. So I really liked that, you know, the report seems to be growing as the digital age is growing as well, kind of like what you had said as well.
Right, keeping it relevant, especially because there's so many things, like as soon as you think you have it, there's something new that's coming out, and trying to keep up. And like you said, the challenging parts that they inform you is important, because sometimes if something's hard, you're like, nope, this is too hard, maybe it's not going to work for us. Oh no, these are the steps to solve it.
And I like that in the challenging part, they tell you solutions on how to help your teachers. So, okay.
Right, because you know, we all need that support. Oh, anything else before we move on to the?
That's it for me from the Horizon reports.
Okay, now the ETSI standards. For the first one was the facilitate and inspire, teachers having their own blogs. I think that obviously models the fact that we can be creative and express ourselves within the blog and help facilitate their knowledge and their reflection of whatever it might be, creativity within their own blog, if a teacher allows them to or facilitates that for them.
Okay. And so when I did the ISTE standard, I kind of related it to the blog as well. And like, you know, I guess if the blogging kind of broke it down and really addressed some of these things. And like you said, for the teacher, I like that you said that it's important for the teacher to model that, because then the kids will do it as well, because that's how kids learn, is especially the younger they are. You know, you want to model as much as you can. So it shows the teacher their creative side and their reflective side, and it gets the kids to really think about it as well. So when I looked at this standard for teachers, for the blogging, I really did think that it does promote, like for letter A, promote, support, and model creative, innovative thinking and inventiveness, because the teacher is able to support the kids, model creativity, innovative thinking throughout her blog, so getting the kids to do that as well. I also saw it in C, which was promoting student reflection using collaborative tools because the blogging can be used as a collaborative tool in any, I'm thinking in any given assignment that the kids can be reflecting on it. Same thing
Right.
as D, model collaborative knowledge construction by engaging in learning with students, colleagues, and others in face-to-face and virtual environments. So same thing, they can be connecting with other students, with colleagues, the teachers can be connecting with students, with colleagues, and then obviously other people globally using this blog. And then for the SD standards for students, I kind of saw it really just in D, where you build knowledge by actively exploring real world issues and problems. But I think that this also addresses how much, like what the assignment is that the teacher gives the kids. Because if it's not a real world issue, then the blogging part does not really relate to this. But if they're doing
Right.
like a real world issues of, saving the whales or, oil spills or something like that, then the kids can actually blog about it because it's a real world issues. But if it's just something that they're just blogging about, the summary of a book that they're reading, it's not really addressing real world issues. So D kind of depends on what the assignment was.
Right. I completely agree with you on that. And like you said, if reflecting over saving the whales or something is a great idea too, if you want to keep it relevant to the environment.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Okay. And then the last ISTE standard was on computational thinking. So I kind of saw blogging was more of, again, same thing, depending on what the assignment was. C and D, breaking problems into component parts, extract key information, and develop descriptive models to understand complex systems or facilitate problem solving. Because I could also see like in math class that the teacher gives them an assignment and they need to blog about it. And so, I don't know, I'm thinking like problem solving with it, and then other people kind of responding on it or blogging about how they reached their answer, because kids don't really understand the process of explaining how they got their answer, like really understanding it. So I think that like if you do blogging, the kids, or if they blog about a math problem, they have to explain step by step how they rationally got the answer or realistically. Same thing with D. So it kind of depends on what the assignment is that the teacher gives in order for those like C and D to kind of fit into the teacher's lesson.
Right. I will say something that I tend to do, which helps my students, is I align like proof of the answer or the steps to see if they got the correct answer. And I think even with that aspect, I have them blog their steps saying, okay, I know that this is the answer. These are the steps. I know how I got here. And sometimes it's the same way and sometimes it's different ways depending on how the student's thinking is during the process.
Mm-hmm.
I also thought about it when setting up their blog. I know I had a difficult time adding a page to my homepage of my blog. So even the aspect of setting up their blog, they can even have challenges in there and solve them to see, okay, you do have a problem. How would you solve it on this blog? Well, kind of guide them to the help button to search it and say, okay, what's the relevant information here for you to help you with adding this page to your homepage.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it might be, that can be a lesson.
Mm-hmm. No, I think that's a good idea. Yes. I know that I made note of it in my reflective that I've never been a blogger. I've never blogged. This was my first time. I guess I never really understood why people do. Like to me, it's just it's like I guess a diary or journal that people read. And I'm like, I don't like people reading my personal things because they're personal. So why would I blog about it? But I can really see how this would work in an educational setting, because I think it'd be extremely powerful with the collaboration. And then they're talking to people globally. And like you said, they're problem solving. They're really thinking critically. They're really communicating too, because kids have a hard time doing that. And, in order to be a better, and I know one of the articles talked about that, that the purpose of using it in a classroom is to get them to practice writing. And so, I mean, if you want better writers, then you have to give them opportunities to write. So even if they're blogging every day, their writing is going to get better. And that's what that's what you want as a teacher, is for them to improve, even if it's just their reflection and their communication part of it. So now I kind of see the purpose of this serving in an educational setting.
When I was looking at it, I kind of got stressed. I usually get a lot of students who have like accommodations, and some of them is like note taking, things in that aspect. And I'm like, well, how can I incorporate them, like help them in this blogging sense? Because I know that they wouldn't feel comfortable typing, with in sentences itself. Box has a voice to type little, I guess, app thing. Mm-hmm. So I was thinking that I can implement that, and then from there I can copy and paste it in the blog. Mm-hmm. For them, so then they can still be a part of it.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a great idea.
Oh, there you go. So, you can hit everyone, especially depending on, like I said, students who need those accommodations. They can still be a part of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good, because you're going to have to differentiate in classrooms anyway. So I think that's a great way to include them in the same activity, in the same expectation, in the same activity lesson that all the other kids are doing, but you're just modifying what they can do. So I think that's very powerful for them as well. I like that you're thinking of how you can use that. So,
thank you. Well, I think we have anything else before? Thank you for watching.
Yes, thank you for watching.
Okay.